Okay, hello grade 5. So this week you've been doing a lot of writing workshops. We've talked about setting, characters, and yesterday you did problem with Miss Mavish. Today we're going to talk about the plot. So we're going to discuss some different events that you might have to go through in order to eventually solve the problem. So we're going to use the problems that we came up with yesterday. I'm going to pick one of them that Miss Mavish came up with, and we're going to write some events that could happen leading to a solution to the problem. So, but first we're going to go through the sheet here. You should all have this in front of you, whether it's on your computer or if you printed it off, or you could even write it into your notebooks. That's not a problem as well. All right, so first we're going to write an I can statement. So I'm going to do that at the bottom here where I have more room. I can plan and organize the plot. Oh, didn't want to do that. The plot for my short story. I can plan and organize the plot for my short story. Okay, so starting at the top, where there is a couple sentences, it says choose one of the problems that the main character in your story will have to solve. So yesterday you wrote down a list of problems. So you're going to choose one of those problems and you're going to put that in here, right in this box. Put the problem in the first box of the plot diagram, there, and think about that situation. So, you have this problem, now you're going to think about it, you're going to expand on the problem a little bit. What sequence of events would occur in your story? So the key word here is what sequence, okay? Sequence means that they happen in order, okay? One will lead to the next, to the next, to the next. It will not jump around. If we're on the space shuttle, all of a sudden we're on a planet, all of a sudden we're back in the space shuttle in space. We're not going to jump around like that. We're going to keep that all in sequence, all in order. And these events are going to lead up to how the problem is going to be solved, okay? So there's a box at the bottom that says solution, right? So that is going to be where our problem is solved. So it's an event where the problem is solved. And these events leading up will help us get there. Okay, so we're going to fill this in. So I'm going to choose the burning space shuttle from Miss Mavish's video yesterday. So we have a burning space shuttle. So that is our major problem. Now, I'm going to think about that a little bit more. I'm going to expand on maybe who discovers the burning space shuttle, or maybe how they discovered it. Just to kind of think about how I can make this problem kind of all the main core of excitement in your story. So I'm going to say for my first event, the pilot notices smoke from looking outside. And I'm going to expand on that a little bit, and I'm going to say tells co-pilot of the space shuttle. Okay, so that's our first event. So the pilot notices smoke from looking outside, and he tells the co-pilot. The next event might be there is maybe a mechanic on board or someone who deals with anything tech-based. So I'm going to say it's maybe a mechanic. Mechanic searches for problem. For problem. I'm going to go comma, discovers someone tampered with ship. Okay. So, mechanic searches for problem, discovers someone tampered with the ship. Okay, so those are my first two events. Now, there's only 3 events we're writing here. Obviously, there's going to be some more events in your story than just maybe 3. And if you need to do that, then you can add a little bit more. But now we're going to kind of lead into our solution a little bit. Okay? So, discovered the burning. Discovered why it was burning. Someone tampered with the ship. Then I would maybe have the pilots or mechanics search for the person who tampered with the ship. And then mechanic is able to possibly solve the burning, right, and fix it. Mechanic, I'm going to say, and pilot search for and find person who tampered with the ship. Okay, so they find the person, and maybe I would add one more little event. Actually, no, I'll put this all in the solution. This will work out. All right, so burning space shuttle, pilot notices smoke, mechanic searches for the problem, discovers someone tampered with the ship, mechanic and pilot search for and find the person who tampered with the ship. So they interview I'm just going to rewrite that. They interview I'm going to put bad guy. Oops. He confesses and tells them how to fix ship. And then I'm going to add just to that mechanic fixes ship. Okay, so that is my sequence of events that I have come up with for the burning space shuttle. So I said that the pilot notices smoke from looking outside and tells the co-pilot. Then they obviously would tell the mechanic. The mechanic searches for the problem and discovers someone has tampered with the ship. Next, the mechanic and pilot would search for and find the person who tampered with the ship. And they interview this bad guy, and he confesses and tells them how to fix the ship. The mechanic then goes and fixes the ship. Okay, so as you can see, there's obviously a lot more than one little event within each event. So these events are your major things that are happening to lead up to this solution. Okay, so your problem is going to cause a series of events to happen to lead towards the solution. So as you can see, each thing steps to the next thing. They are not all mismatched and out of order. It is a sequence of events. It happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes in order. It doesn't go 5, 2, 4, 1, and 3, right? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when you're counting. So in this instance, all events will happen in order, and they will all lead up to your solution. And your solution is right near the end of the story. It's the end. It's the resolution. Remember, we talked about this in your notes for your short story elements. So I hope this helps you out, gives you an idea of what you should be writing and filling in these boxes. Again, you don't have to write full sentences in here. I want you to get all of your ideas written down though. So if you need a full sentence or two for each box, then perfect, do it. But just remember, get all of your ideas in here so that you're not forgetting them, because this is why we plan. You need to have a plan in order to write your story and make it a fully developed story with a lot of thought and detail. So write as much as you need to so that you have enough details to include in your story. And again, start with the problem. So you're going to pick the problem that you worked on yesterday. So you should have a list of problems for your story specific to your story. Put it in the box for the problem. Then have all your events and then your solution. So the solution is the event that basically solves your problem. Okay? So now you're going to do that on your own for your own story. You should now have your setting planning done, your characters planning done, your problems planning done, and now you're going to work on your plot planning, okay? All right, have a great day. Work hard and get that done today so you can start your story next week.